Hi friends, good morning and welcome to today's yoga for back pain. Today is going to be strictly focused on just our hips and our hamstrings, which is part of the reason why some of us do suffer from back pain, is because a lot of times we're susceptible to having tight hips, which does result in things like back pain and sciatica. So it's really important that we do open up our hip joints and also our hamstrings connected behind the back of our legs between our knee and our hip. So if you're ready, grab a couple blocks and a strap to modify through poses, and let's begin. Let's start at the back of our mat with our knees as wide as our mat, sitting up nice and tall, resting your hands on top of your thighs, just taking a moment, relaxing your shoulders down and away from the ears, relaxing your face, so letting your eyebrows relax, your jaw unclench, and taking a deep breath in. Exhale, releasing the breath out. Well, again, inhale as we open our eyes and open our arms out towards the side and up towards the sky. And exhale, we'll fold forward in a child's pose, resting our forehead on our mat and reaching your fingers as far forward as you can, but still letting your hips fall back to your heels. So this is a great way to start our practice opening up our hips. We will be moving through some spinal warm-ups with cat and cow and warrior poses to warm up the hip, as well as a couple sun salutations, just a little heat before we really stretch our hips and our hamstrings. So just take a moment, relax, breathe. This is about patience and consistency with opening the hips and the hamstrings, letting our body be patient. Take one more deep breath in your child's pose. Exhale, release it out. And slowly walk your hands up to a seated position, taking your knees together, coming forward in a tabletop position, cat and cow as we drop the belly and look up into a cow. And we'll exhale, and you're only moving the spine and slowly rounding it up until your chin touches your chest. And again, inhale, dropping the belly, dropping it really low here, just letting it fall. And exhale, rounding your chin to your chest, so you're looking towards your belly button. And again, inhale, dropping the belly low, look forward. And exhale, rounding out the spine, chin to your chest. And again, inhale. And exhale, round it out. Coming back to a neutral spine, so you're in a tabletop position. Tuck your toes and keep your knees bent as you shift your weight back into a very first downward facing dog. And just start to bend one leg as you straighten out the other, going deep into the back of our calves and our hamstrings, our ankles, warming up the lower body. And make sure that you do pay attention to your upper body as well, starting from the head. So letting the head just shake it out side to side, forward and back. And just letting your body find all sorts of feel-good movement here from head to toe. Making sure that all your weight is pushed back so you really get that stretch through your back and your legs. Good, and then hold your downward dog as you push all your weight back. Now cross your right leg as if you're sitting down just over your left, so we can get a deep stretch through the back of our left leg here. Push all your weight back, just letting the breath move through the back of that left leg. Stretch it out. Exhale, releasing the right foot down and taking the left leg, crossing it over the right now. Pushing yourself down in your downward dog. Going deep into the back of the right leg. You should feel some heat building up through the back of that leg. And slowly release, push your weight back, downward facing dog. Exhale, take your knees down together and relax into a child's pose with your forehead resting on the mat.
And now as we take our knees together, we're getting more of a back stretch here. More of a stretch in our shoulders. You can also always release your arms along the side of the body to relax your shoulders even more, whatever feels good for you. And then from child's pose, shift your body weight forward into upward facing dog, lifting your thighs off the mat, and exhale, coming all the way down onto your belly. Let your hands and arms release along the side, so your body is just heavy right now. And we're gonna take a deep breath in, inhale, exhale, release it out. And again, we'll inhale, exhale, lift the legs, and lift the arms up into locust pose, also known as Superman. So we're really engaging our legs here, firing the quads and the thighs, reaching the arms back as we lift through the chest, opening up the throat and the heart chakra, reaching the back of the room with the toes. And exhale, releasing as we push back up into upward dog. Exhale, shift it back, downward facing dog. Slowly start to walk your feet one at a time, taking your time to the front of your mat. We're in a standing forward fold. Make sure your feet are hip distance as wide as your hips. Grab your opposite elbows, keeping a bend in your knees, and sway side to side, rocking, making sure that your head is really heavy here, and that you're folding from your hips and not your lower back. And you should feel really good movement through your side body, releasing any tension that is held within the back and the hamstrings. So this is a really good hamstring stretch. Of course, if you like to go deeper, extend the legs more, just making sure you always keep that little micro bend in the knees here. And this is a really great position to do when we're seated as well. So you can do both variations. Slowly releasing your hands and then coming all the way up into a standing position, but letting your head be the last thing that comes up, and rolling the shoulders down away from the ears. Take your feet together, stand nice and tall in a mountain pose. Let's flow nice and slow here, Surya Namaskar A, as we bend the knees, sweep the arms up as you open them, and exhale, swan dive it down. Inhale as you halfway lengthen so your back is flat, and exhale, step the left foot back, keeping the left knee off the mat, high lunge supported. Exhale, stepping back into high plank, tuck your core in. Exhale, you can drop the knees and modify your chaturanga. Inhale, upward dog or baby cobra, whichever one feels good. And exhale, shift your weight back, downward facing dog. That same left foot on your inhale will step forward, keeping the back knee off the mat still. Look forward. Exhale, right foot meets the left. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale as you stand all the way up. Open your arms out towards the side, nice and slow, and up towards the sky. Exhale, hands to heart. Let's do it again. Inhale, bend the knees, sweep the arms up towards the sky. Exhale, let's fold it down as you lead with the heart. Inhale, halfway lengthen. Exhale, step your right foot back this time. Supported high lunge. Exhale, step back. Plank position. See if you can do a full chaturanga, coming down with your chest first. Inhale, upward dog. And exhale, downward facing dog. Stepping that same right foot towards the front of your mat. Supported high lunge. Exhale, left foot meets the right. Inhale, halfway lengthen. Exhale, fold. Inhale, stand up. Reach and open the arms up towards the sky. Exhale, hands to your heart. We'll do one more, and this time Surya Namaskar B. As we inhale, reach the arms up towards the sky as you bend the knees, look up. Exhale, fold it down. Inhale as you halfway lengthen. Exhale, stepping both your feet back. Plank position, hold. Modify or take a full chaturanga. Inhale, open up, up dog. And exhale, downward facing dog, push it back. Inhale as you step the right leg forward. Warrior one.
grounding your back foot, bending the front knee and squaring your hips as you reach the arms up towards the sky. Exhale, hands down, step back, hover the right foot, modified chaturanga. Inhale, upward dog. Exhale, push it back, downward facing dog. Inhale, stepping the left leg forward, warrior one. Squaring your hips out as you bring the right hip forward, left hip back, bending that front knee and going lower and deeper. Exhale, hands down, stepping back as you hover the left leg, chaturanga. Inhale, upward dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Now let's go ahead, drop our knees together, sit back, child's pose. Resting here for a moment, feeling that heart rate pick up, feeling that heat and energy moving through the body. So we can open up the hips and the hamstrings here. One more deep breath in. Exhale, release it out. And on your next inhale, shift forward into upward facing dog, look forward. And exhale, shift the weight back, downward facing dog. On our next inhale, we're gonna step our left leg forward, cartwheel your arms over into a warrior two. As you look over your left arm towards over that front leg, towards the front of your mat, sinking nice and low here. So our left leg is in an external rotation where we're opening up the left hip, creating more range of motion throughout our hip joint. So bending, going deeper and lower. Nice, powerful warrior two with the arms. Exhale, straighten that left leg. Pivot forward with your body, just moving your hips forward and coming down into a triangle pose, but grabbing your blocks so that we can place our block behind our foot or in front, whichever feels good for you. Left hand comes on block, right hand straight up, so your right arm is stacked directly over your left. And we want to make sure that right hip is also open. So maybe rotating that right hip a little more towards the sky. Now you can always switch the sides of the blocks and come onto the medium side or all the way down towards the flat side as well. So whichever feels good for you, just make sure that your palm is all the way flat. Your gaze is looking up towards that top hand. You're really feeling that nice hamstring opening through the left leg here. Breathe it out. Good, and slowly coming back into warrior two as you look over that left arm. Now we're going to pivot that left foot, so maybe just move your block over to the side for now. Pivoting your left foot, so both your toes coming into a pigeon as you come into a wide-legged standing forward fold. Your hands are grounded on your mat as you try to reach the top of your head closer towards the mat, making sure that we don't lock our knees in. So we're keeping that little micro bend still in our knees, feeling that nice opening throughout our outer legs, the thighs. Breathe it out. And slowly let's place our hands on our hips, nice flat back as we come all the way up standing. Turn your right toes towards the back of the mat now. So we'll do warrior two, other side. Bending that right leg as you look over that front arm. And you should feel that front leg maybe burn, maybe sting a little. That's your muscles thanking you here. Strengthening those muscles, opening that outer hip. Breathe it out. And slowly extend the leg, shift your hip forward, and come on down to triangle pose. You might want to grab your block, of course, if you can't reach all the way down, and just place it either in front or the back of your foot, letting your left arm stack directly over your right, and also letting your left hip open more towards the sky here. So you're going deep into that right hamstring. Taking one last breath here. And then coming back into warrior two, looking over your front arm. We're going to windmill the arms so they're towards the back of our mat now. Stepping back into high plank or dropping the knees, chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog. And exhale, pushing your way back, downward facing dog. Taking one deep breath in. Exhale, letting it go. Inhale, bend the knees, lift the heels, look to the front of the mat. Hop or step to the front. Turn so you're facing towards the front of your mat now. And walk your hands back into downward facing dog. Taking your feet hip distance apart. Inhale as you reach the right leg up. And exhale, we're going to swing our right leg into a pigeon pose. So your right knee is to your right elbow. Now grab your blocks if they're nearby and place a block right underneath your right butt cheek. And the other one, if you may want to pause the video and just take a moment to grab your blocks. The second block will be placed right under your forehead. So you're just relaxing here. If you don't have blocks, feel free to use anything else like books, anything that's bulky enough to rest on, blankets, any type of props such as bolsters, whatever feels good for you. Now, if you feel like you want to go deeper and open the hip more, release the block under that hip, and you can always use 2 blocks under your head. So whatever feels good for you. Just relax in your pigeon. We're focused solely on opening the right hip right now. Feeling a nice stretch through our gluteus muscles. So feeling that stretch throughout your whole buttocks area. Feeling the hip open here. Releasing. So where we store our hips, this is located through our second chakra, which is located in our pelvis, which is in our spine. Holds a lot of self-expression and creativity. So that's why we hold so many emotions, because when we're tight in the hamstrings, we tend to hold a lot of anxiety, fear, negative emotions that we don't need. So that's why we open the hips and release it all out. Slowly walk your hands up into a seated pigeon and swing your left leg forward so your right sole of the foot is touching your inner left thigh. Reach your left hand towards the left side and your right arm comes up over the head, making sure you lift through the chest and look up towards that top arm, stretching out the right side of your body. And slowly releasing the hands, coming back into seated pigeon. Open your heart. Exhale, tuck the toes, kick back into 3-legged dog. Exhale, dropping that right foot down. And we take it to the other side. So shift your weight on your right foot. As you inhale, lift the left foot up towards the sky. Exhale, taking the left knee to the left elbow. Your back leg is nice and straight and your hips are squared. And again, maybe placing a block under your left butt cheek. And then the other one will just be placed under your forehead. And again, you don't have to use blocks, but it is great to use so that you don't go too far and push yourself. We want to make sure that we develop that patience within our body and slowly come deeper every time we practice it. So if you don't need the blocks and you'd like to go deeper within the left hip, slowly remove it. Maybe you'd like to just rest your forehead all the way down on your mat or on your forearms. And just relax the shoulders so we can just strictly open deeply within our hips. Letting your breath move along that whole left leg. This is helping to reduce and release any back pain. This is one of the most amazing poses for actually releasing back pain. Especially when we're in a seated position for long periods during the day. And even if you're not, even if you are an athlete or you play sports, but even exercises like running create very tight hamstrings, so it's important that we do stretch. Slowly come on out, placing your hands in front of you, seated pigeon. Swing over towards your left side as you take your left sole of the foot towards your inner right thigh. And let's go ahead and take our right hand towards the right side, lifting the left arm up towards the sky, lifting through the chest here. Relax your shoulders. Just taking a nice mermaid stretch. Breathing it through this left side of your body. Then slowly releasing, taking your hands back in front of you. Seated pigeon. Tuck the back toes. Lift back up. Three-legged dog. Exhale, your foot comes down, pushing all your weight back. Taking a nice deep breath in your downward dog. Exhale, releasing it all out. Go ahead and drop your knees. Swing your legs towards the side, placing your sole of the feet on the mat and taking your arms out in front of you. Let's go ahead and roll all the way onto our back. Vertebrae at a time. Rest, let your hands stretch over your head and rest your legs and your arms wider than your mat into our final Shavasana. Letting your body be heavy, letting your body melt deeper towards your mat, and allowing yourself to take this quiet moment of relaxation. Allow yourself to come back to the present moment as you find movement and wiggle out your fingers, wiggle the toes, stretch out your legs and your arms in the opposite direction as you bend your knees, rolling over to your fetal position on your side and making your way up into an easy cross-legged position, sitting nice and tall here. Feeling nice and open with the chest, so we stay like this throughout the rest of our day and not hunched over. And let's inhale as we open the arms out towards the side, nice and wide, and then nice and long, growing even taller. Exhale, hands to your heart. And again, inhale, open, reach, lengthen even more. Exhale, taking your hands to your heart, thanking yourself for being here today to build your flexibility within your hips and your hamstrings. I hope it helped to alleviate some of the back pain, but remember to keep practicing every day. And remember that we want to keep practicing because as we get into that adult stage, it becomes harder to maintain that flexibility within our hips and our hamstrings. And it's really important that we do that to prevent injury. So again, thank you so much for being here. All my love and light. Subscribe to Yena Yoga. Namaste.